basically in a dead heat in the American League West, and the Mariners on the periphery of the pennant race. They are 7 games back, but as Lou Piniella has said, time is of the essence. To you all, a very pleasant good evening, everybody. Dave Niehaus along with Ron Fairley. It's that time now, Red, we've talked about for some time, but you just can't lose too many more balls.
No, you can't lose any more. In fact, you're going to have to go on a real winning streak. The Mariners held a team meeting prior to the game today. Hopefully they can iron a few things out. Something positive will come out of it, and maybe a long winning streak, because they're going to need it.
Well, the Mariners are going to have to beat the only 20-game winner in the league if they are to win here tonight. Left-hander Barry Zito gets a start for the Oakland Athletics. Back in June, the Mariners handled him to the fairly well, but there is a reason he's won 20 ball games.
Yeah, he is one of the best pitchers in the American League. Second half of the season has a record of 9-2. He's 1-1 against the Mariners this year.
Ismael Valdez, a relative newcomer to Mariner uniform, has pitched well against Oakland.
Well, he has a lifetime mark of 2-2 against them, and in the 4 starts for the Mariners this year has a record of 2-1. Hopefully he'll be able to get deep enough in the game, maybe can score some runs for him early.
We have a lovely evening here at the East Bay for baseball. Game 1 of the 3-game series, and Lou Piniella looking for some base hits. He's looking for some balls into the gap. Maybe tonight is the night they will come. The Mariners need to win. They need to beat Oakland. Back with the starting lineups right after this timeout.
There's only one place to get your ultimate Seahawks coverage. Star running back Sean Alexander joins the Northwest Sports Report every Monday night. Get analysis and insight you'll find nowhere else. It's your inside look at the Seahawks all season long. The Northwest Sports Report, the only sports show Northwest fans will ever need. The Northwest Sports Report, featuring Sean Alexander, Mondays at 10 on Fox Sports 9. Baseball's unstoppable force looks to roll on. Now it's must-win time as playoff contenders face off. MVP candidate Miguel Tejada and the Streaking A's are the team to beat.
They're unstoppable.
While Ichiro and the Mariners are fighting to stay in the division race. Sunday at 1 on Fox Sports Net.
Now, during Ford authorized clearance, America's #1 selling truck just got a new number. 0% financing. That'll save you up to $1,680 in interest savings on the new Northwest Edition Ford F-150. That's a rugged F-150 with 2-tone paint, outline leather tires, and aluminum wheels. Or choose $2,500 cash back on America's best-selling truck. Now during Ford authorized clearance at your Northwest Ford stores.
I will never hit. I will never strike. I will never hit. I will never strike. I will never hit. I will never strike.
I will never hit. I will never hit.
I will never strike a woman.
A woman.
What do people think about my new Fox series, Cedric the Entertainer presents? Let's check it out.
You'll laugh your panties off, and when you do, send them to me.
Said to remind me of my homemade gravy, hot brown and full of chunky surprises. If you want to go to heaven, you have to watch Cedric the Entertainer and send me $5.
Cedric the Entertainer presents a new sketch comedy show, Fox Ball.
Seattle Mariners baseball is brought to you by your Northwest Ford stores, home of the best-selling trucks in America. See your Northwest Ford dealer today. And by Quest, ride the light. A lovely night here at the Oakland Coliseum. The Oakland Athletics returning from a 7-game road trip that saw their 20-game winning streak in American League record come to an end. They just lost 3 of 4 to the Anaheim Angels, and thus they find themselves in a tie for the division lead in the West. Let's look at this evening's starting lineups, Red.
All right, let's take a look at the Southwest Airlines starting lineup for the Seattle Mariners. It'll be Ichiro, Guillen Boone, Martinez, Olerud, Sierra, Cameron Wilson, and then Jeff Cirillo. Edgar Martinez, if you combine what he's done the last 9 games, has 13 hits in 32 at-bats, including 8 runs driven in. And he'll be facing tonight one of the best pitchers in the league, Barry Zito. And boy, what a pitcher he has turned out to be. But take a look. Olerud is 4 for 10. Ichiro 5 for 15. Boone 4 for 13 against the left-hander. Defensively behind Zito tonight, take a look how they line up. Mabry, Long, Dye in the outfield. Chavez, Tejada, Durham, and Hannenberg around the infield. And Ramon Hernandez behind the plate.
And we are underway. Ichiro steps in and backs away from a strike. And we are underway with Jerry Lane, the man that turned around and raised that right hand in the air. The home plate umpire, Jerry Lane, and Mike DeMuro, Ed Montague, and Hunter Wendell Stepp. There they are, the 4 men umpiring this series. There's that big curveball.
You know, that curveball, you can't give up on it. You have to stay with it. It's that great big bender.
Low and inside. A ball, 2 strikes a count on Ichiro. The Mariners, of course, coming off being swept by the Texas Rangers, losing yesterday afternoon 7-3. Just on the outside corner, Ichiro is rung up.
Had to be looking for that great big curveball, that fastball. Nothing particularly fast about it, only about 84, 85 miles an hour. But it was right down, well, no, it was on the outside corner. Pretty good pitch that time by Zito. Strikeout number 1.
Zito 20-5, that 2.74 ERA. Originally a draft choice out of high school in San Diego by the Seattle Mariners. At the knees to Guillen. Shot him off, right in on the hands. Eric Chavez throws him out.
Location. One of the great assets that Zito has. Take a look at the season numbers for Zito. 20-5. ERA 2.74 in the 31 starts. 1 complete game, and opponents batting just .219 against him, and those are the other numbers there. He's already worked in over 200 innings. 165, make that 166 strikeouts now.
His 32nd start of the year. That's tops in the American League. Brett Boone and Mark McLemore both instituting a players-only meeting before the ball game. Boy, he is living on the black, isn't he?
No question about that. Zito's been on a good run. He has won 5 straight decisions.
.6'4", 215 pounds. Down he goes on a breaking ball. Not down he goes, but strike 2 on a breaking ball. 2-2.
So far, Zito has kept his pitches out of the middle part of the plate. He has been right on the hands, right at the belt to the hitters, or he's been low and away.
High towering pop-up. Long and Dye both out there, and it's going to be Dye to make the catch, and that will take care of the Mariners rather easily in the first as they go in order. So out to the mound, Ismael Valdez. He's going to be facing Durham, Hannenberg, and Tejada. Mariners don't score.
Wow. Wow is right, because with Dish Network, you get a free 2-receiver system and free standard professional installation.
Wow.
Buy a 2-receiver system for $199 and get 12 monthly equipment credits of $17, which makes it free. Visit Sears or a participating retailer today or call 1-800-333-DISH.
In car 1. Local 1. Looks like we got some uninvited visitors flying in from the west.
Looking for a little preview, huh?
Better come on in and cover up that car right now.
Roger that. I'm at the third turn. I'm coming in.
Introducing the much-anticipated all-new Accord from Honda.
I was setting the tackle up all game long. He thought he could block me, but he didn't know what he was talking about.
Hey, Skip, let's listen in on Michael Strahan.
Aye, aye, to the diving board.
JB, Terry, and Howie return with football's most animated pregame show, featuring Jillian's Forecast and Jimmy Kimmel's Upset Special. Fox NFL Sunday, this week on your local Fox station.
Mariners went down 1-2-3 in their half of the first inning, and now it's time to see the Oakland A's Southwest Airlines starting lineup. Tonight it'll be Durham, Hannibal, Tejada, Chavez, Justice Dye, Log, Mabry, and then Hernandez. Miguel Tejada, what a year he's put together. A .311 batting average, 31 home runs, 119 runs driven in. And Ismael Valdez, control is a must for him. His career very good of 2.52 against the A's. And his fastball has good sink. He has to keep the A's in the ballpark tonight.
Ray Durham, the switch-hitting second baseman, takes a little bit high. Ball one ball and no strikes. Durham did not have a very good road trip. There's a strike, and it counted a ball and a strike. Matter of fact, only 3 for 26 on a 7-game road trip, a 115 batting average. Valdez just missed it. Valdez last pitch Sunday in that wild ball game in Kansas City. Mariners won 16-9 when they scored those 8 runs in the 11th inning. Not a good sign. Not a leadoff base on ball.
Well, we said that Valdez has to keep the ball down. Yes, he does. No question about that. And he also has to keep the A's in the ballpark. They've hit 185 home runs. That's 4th best in the American League. They don't do a lot of stealing, although Durham has 23 stolen bases. And he's about the only guy that's going to run a lot. But these guys rely on the long ball.
The A's 20-game winning streak from August the 13th to September the 4th. Third longest winning streak in the Major League since 1900. Longest in 67 years. And yet here they are tied with the Anaheim Angels. 1-1 on Scott Hatteberg, the ex-Washington State Cougar.
Well, Hatteberg's put together quite a year. He has career highs in home runs, runs batted in, hits, base on balls. Got a good year for himself.
Hatteberg fouls it back. Hatteberg has had only 1 home run since the All-Star break. But what a home run it was. It was the home run. There was a pinch hit game-ending shot on the 4th of September against Kansas City to give the A's their 20th consecutive victory.
You know, that was a game in which the A's were leading 11-0. And Kansas City came roaring right back, and they tied it.
Hatteberg broken bat, little blooper, and right there goes Brett Boone to gather it in.
Little jam job right there. You can hear the broken bat as that pitch got right in on the hands. Probably hit a little bit below the trademark. So So Hatterberger's jammed for the first out, and here's a guy that's...
The batter, number 4.
I think he's going to get a lot of MVP votes. I still think Alex is going to win it. But, boy, what a year this guy's put together.
Also struggled on the road trip, however, as he went only 2 for 17. Strike on the outside corner.
Leading RBI man on the team, and the leading RBI man for the A's against Mariner pitching. He's driven in 11 runs. Take a look at the batting average in the month of September. Tejada, much better than that of Alex, but Alex has those humongous numbers to begin with. Take a look at it again. 309, 54 home runs, 132. You know, look at the shortstop. I don't ever recall a time in baseball history where so many shortstops have such big power numbers.
Toward the hole, and that's going to be true into right field. So Durham's going to make his way to third.
Ichiro did not have a chance to throw Durham out going to third base. Boy, that ball just found a hole. Olerud holding the runner on at first base. Boone playing in his normal position, and this ball just fisted the other way. It gets just past Olerud. And there's nothing that he can do to get to it. Boone gave it a good effort. But you can plainly see before Ichiro gets the ball how far around second base the Durham is.
Well, here's the man that's done the most damage against the Mariners this year. Although the Mariners are 8-5 against Oakland this year and 4-2 here. But Eric Chavez has hit 4 home runs against them. Takes a strike on the outside corner. Two long balls for this young man. Valdez, as you probably know, has had problems with that index finger on his right hand, developing blisters. He's pitched with it. High pop-up, and that won't score the run as Boone drifts into shallow right field to make the catch. So a huge second out. And David Justice will be the hitter.
The batter, number 23, David Justice, designated hitter.
Justice, who, if you're a Mariner fan, you so well remember in the pinstripes in October at Yankee Stadium against Arthur Rhodes. Down low and outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Low 2-0 on Mr. Justice. Base hit up the middle. Clutch base hit, and the A's lead it 1-0. Line drive. Justice's 47th RBI.
You know, the A's and the Angels are having a year very similar to what the Mariners did last year. 2 men out. What do? They come up with a key base hit. It was not a bad pitch that time by Valdez. He made a good pitch. But Justice able to hit it a little bit off the end of the bat, but that soft line drive into center field. Boy, they get the hits whenever they need them. Very timely hitting.
Jermaine Dye, the hitter. Pretty consistent, but look at the home run since the All-Star break. Carlos Guillen gets the force easily on Justice, but first blood drawn by the Oakland Athletics here tonight. They get a clutch 2-out RBI single from Dave Justice. 1-run, 2 hits, and the A's leave 2. When we come back, Edgar, Olerud, and Sierra test Mr. Zito. 1-0, Oakland.
Where's the line that separates the way it's always been done and doing something different? The Northwest Sports Report crossed that line and introduced more coverage than any show on television. Now, we're changing sports news again, expanding to 60 full minutes to cover the entire world of sports, from everything Northwest to everything beyond. The Northwest Sports Report, the only sports news show Northwest fans will ever need. After the game, only on Fox Sports Net.
Hey guys, let's not forget, man, this is the NFL show.
And the NFL's hardcore, so we must stay hardcore.
That's right. You know, Tom, you've been out here the longest. You got to make sure that, you know, me and Michael don't get caught up in that Hollywood stuff, you know?
You can count on me. If you guys fall off the wayside, just let me know, man.
Mike, I think I'm going to get the either the polish or the clear. No, just get a nice buff.
Hey, guys, how about a bikini wax next?
Ooh. The NFL Show with Urban, Syracuse, and Davidson, Saturday and Sunday on Fox Sports Net. See it all again on Fox Sports Net. Did you miss the Huskies or the Cougars game? You gotta be kidding me. Don't worry, you can catch exciting Washington and Washington State football on Sundays too. All the hard-hitting, high-flying action of these Pac-10 powerhouses, just in case you weren't paying attention. What? College football re-airs Sundays on Fox Sports Net.
Very nice Friday night crowd here. Day game tomorrow, day game Sunday before the Mariners come home for their final homestand of the year. And Edgar Martinez will step in and lead it off. Edgar, the all-time extra base hit leader for the Seattle Mariners after this road trip. Sends a fly ball to center field, and Terrence Long will have an easy play on. So 1 pitch and 1 down. And John Olerud will be the hitter.
John with a couple of home runs, 11 runs driven in on this road trip.
Zito down low. 1-0.
Olerud also having a great year against the A's. He gives up the count. A .415 hitter, 17 hits in 41 at bats.
There's that big lollipop curve, and they say he won.
You know, there aren't many pitchers in the league that throw that pitch. But you can see how much out in front that Olerud was. Look at that slow curveball. It went around a bit too far.
Got that one in on the handle. Durham throws him out. Ray Durham, in the final year of his 4-year contract, of course, coming over from the Chicago White Sox on the 30th of July, and he's making $8 million. The Oakland Athletics have a budding second baseman by the name of Mark Ellis, who's done a great job. I don't believe it's a real high priority for the A's to re-sign Ray Durham for next year with Ellis ready to play. And Randy Velarde is just a forgotten man. Check swing, and it's down low, ball one ball, and no strikes on Ruben Sierra. Randy Velarde hadn't played in almost 2 weeks.
I think there was some talk that maybe after this year that Velarde was...
Yeah, he's announced that, I believe.
Yeah, he's going to retire. So I agree with you. I think that second base job is going to be wide open for Ellis next year.
Well, there's another man right there, Frank Menachino, sitting next to Velarde. Spent some time in Sacramento this year. So they're loaded with the second baseman. Ruben Sierra pops it into shallow right field, and a long run for Justice, but he's going to get there. By guy, I should say, and he's going to get there, and that will take care of the Mariners rather easily in the second. So 6 up and 6 down for Barry Zito in the first 2 innings, and as we go to the bottom of the second, Long, Mabry, and Hernandez.
9.
Always on the cutting edge of technology. That's Car Toys. The latest innovations, the hottest new names in car audio, including Sirius Satellite Radio. 100 channels of digital entertainment you can take coast to coast with 60 channels of 100% commercial-free music. At Car Toys, you can add Sirius Satellite Radio to any car stereo for only $125 after $75 mail-in rebate from Sirius Satellite Radio. Car Toys, the road of life has never sounded better. Car Toys, better way to go!
So what did you wish for? A new bike? Or were you hoping for a scholarship? Your first home, maybe. At Wells Fargo, we want to get to know you. We want to know what stage you're in now so we can help you succeed in your next. Whether you need a checking account today or want to invest for tomorrow, talk to us and see how we can help. Wells Fargo, the next stage.
Baseball's unstoppable force looks to roll on. Now it's must-win time as playoff contenders face off. MVP candidate Miguel Tejada and the streaking A's are the team to beat.
They're unstoppable.
While Ichiro and the Mariners are fighting to stay in the division race. Sunday at 1 on Fox Sports Net.
Here at the Oakland Coliseum, Dave Niehaus along with Ron Fairley and Terrence Long, the center fielder, will be up there to try Mr. Valdez on for size here in the second. And John Mabry and Ramon Hernandez. Right down the heart of the plate.
Long has been on a little bit of a slide the last 35 games, batting just 197. Nevertheless, he is dangerous up there at the plate.
Valdez slider that time. Misses.
See Valdez featuring some off-speed pitches to Long. He's primarily a fastball hitter, low fastball hitter at that.
And the breaking ball that time to him. He evens out the count of 2-2. 1-2, I should. Does not even out the count. Count 1-2. Got that one up.
Yeah, and you see the kind of swing that Terrence Long takes at that fastball. I mean, here you just threw him 3 curveballs, and he didn't even offer after. And then you throw him 1 fastball, and look, he's sitting all over. Take a look from ground level how quick he is going after that pitch. Like we said, he's a better low fastball hitter than he is a high fastball.
It's high and outside.
You know, a lot of times pitchers will show you the fastball. Show it meaning they won't throw it to you in the strike zone, and then they make you hit the breaking ball. I think that's what Valdez would like to do here.
Change, and it's lined, and a great catch by Guillen. Couple of steps to his right. Got that pitch up.
Quick reactions that time by Carlos, moving quickly to his right.
All batting. Over 47.
Look how quickly Guillen goes after that line drive. Boy, it took about 3 or 4 strides. Quick reactions that time by Carlos.
John Mabry, the ex-Mariner, has had some clutch hits for the A's on a part-time basis. That change at the knees.
Mabry, another low fastball hitter. You know, I think you were the one that said this here about 2 or 3 weeks ago. There are very few low or high fastball hitters that are left-handed. Seem like left-handed hitters like the ball down more. I think you're right.
It was mighty close. That slide. Apparently a little low. 2-0 for Jerry Lane. Right off the plate, Overwood says hello. And out is Mabry. Let's go to Anaheim now, where Texas is playing Anaheim. Joaquin Benoit against Jared Washburn. And Washburn pitching to Rafael Palmeiro, who lines the ball into left field for a base hit with Alex Rodriguez on base. And digging towards second, Palmeiro, and the throw gets away, and so A-Rod just gets up, comes on in, and scores. And like that, Texas has an early 1-0 lead over the Angels.
This is going to be the Texas Rangers playoff and World Series, playing the top teams and trying to knock them off.
Of course, Texas will be in Seattle Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Ramon Hernandez is the hitter. Count has gone to 2-0.
He has struggled against the Mariners this year. It's 1 hit, 23 at bats.
Got to throw this guy strikes. Well, he made him earn it anyway. He did throw him a strike, and he hit it into right field.
Yeah, but you don't like to see Valdez get down to a fastball count. 3-1 count with Justice. 2-0. Those are the 2 counts that we've talked about all year long, Dave. The 2-0 and the 3-1, those are the hitters' counts. And a lot of damage is done 2-0 and 3-1, as we have seen here tonight with those 2 counts.
Durham walked and has scored the only run in the ball game.
So the pitchers are heading the count. Most of the hitters in the league become very defensive. You can get them out much easier.
That's a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, about the best gas that Valdez had. Just off the inside corner, 1-1. Changeup.
Games.
High fastball, and he hits it to deep left field, but the yard's going to hold it. As Sierra goes back to make a rather easy catch. So here in the second inning, a 2-out single by Ramon Hernandez. It does no damage. We go to the third. Mariners down 1-0, and that man Cameron will lead it off.
Hi, Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, I'd like to return these checks. You put the bank's address on them instead of mine.
Okay, that's a new printing fee, a transaction fee, and, of course, a conversation fee.
Conversation fee?
We'll have to charge you for this little chat we're having. 3 pronouns, 7 verbs.
What?
Oh, emotional outburst fee. Well, those can be steep. You'll have to write us a check.
Fed up with fees? Try Washington Mutual. Our free checking has no teller fees, no fine print, no surprises.
There you go. Have to charge you for that.
Washington Mutual.
Turn me up. I can feel the joy all around each generation. They set their own kind of sound. Don't lay it out. You got your own kind of groove. Maybe you can't see, get your mood. I think that leave you can lose. So shout it out. Lose that joy of Pepsi. For those who think young.
On the next Beyond the Glory, Jim Kelly was the catalyst that built a football powerhouse. He was the absolute force behind those teams, though ultimate glory eluded his grasp. And here we let one slide through our hands. But an even greater battle
It's something that you never, ever expect is ever going to happen.
allowed him to make a difference.
Through him, there will be miracles.
Jim Kelly, Beyond the Glory, Sunday at 7 on Fox Sports Net.
1-0 A's leading the Mariners. You ever wanted to see a Mariners game from a Safeco field this week? You can. Just enter the Lowe's How Sweet It Is contest at any Western Washington Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse. Chosen you and 15 friends. You're going to watch the Mariners take on the A's in style on September the 24th, courtesy of Lowe's. You'll even have a chance throughout the first pitch. So stop by and enter this weekend. Mike Cameron will start it off. Zito has retired the first 6 Mariners to face him. A little high with the fastball.
Mentioned that Miguel Tejada, the leading RBI man against the Mariners. Mike Cameron is the leading RBI man for the Mariners against the A's. Cameron with a home run, 10 runs driven in against the A's this year.
Curve. 1-2.
The reason you don't see many guys with a curveball like that of Barry Zito. It's tough to get that pitch called for a strike.
High octane stuff that time, so that's strikeout number 2.
Look at this. In regular and postseason, after the month of August, 13-2 mark. ERA 1.71. And opponents hitting under 200 against him. Last 2 years, he's won 37 games.
High and outside to Dan Wilson, having a heck of a road trip.
Yes, he is.
9 for 19, had 4 hits yesterday afternoon. Was perfect, went 4 for 4. That's going to be foul territory. Hatterberg couldn't catch up with him. Flush. Off-speed stuff again from Barry Zito. The Athletics magic number to clinch a playoff berth, not the Western Division Championship, but a playoff berth against the Mariners in Boston is 10. Outside. 2-2. Art Howe did another great job with the A's last year. He won 102 games and finished second by 14. A lot of foul territory here, but even that ball is going to get out of play.
Just had a picture of Art Howe. In a way, he reminds me of Joe Torre of the Yankees. And that is, regardless of what happens on the field, you don't see any emotion come out of this guy. Rarely do you see him demonstrate any emotion.
That's Rick Peterson, his pitching coach, in the foreground. Fastball and a high fly ball hit by Wilson to die. Three putouts in the game for Jermaine Dye. And Jeff Cirillo will be the hitter. Now, Cirillo is the one hitter in the Mariner lineup that has the highest batting average, but he's only had 4 at-bats against Barry Zito. And he's got 3 hits. Great curveball. By the way, Boston a half a game away from the Mariners in the wild card battle. Mariners, of course, 7 back of the 2 that are tied in the division, but Boston lost tonight, 8-3. To Baltimore at Fenway. Fastball.
See how Zito stands on the extreme third base side of the rubber.
A little high. Jamie Moyer and Tim Hudson tomorrow. Joel Pinheiro and Ted Lilly on Sunday.
See where he stands on the far side. The reason he does that, he's concerned about the right-handed batters. When he runs the fastball away, by the time it gets to the plate, the ball looks like it's running further away to right-handed. Left-hander he's not really concerned about. He's got that curveball that he can throw to left-hander. But by standing on that side of the rubber, changes the angle at which the ball comes to the plate.
Yeah, on the inside corner, Cirillo caught looking, and the first time through the lineup, Barry Zito is perfection. 9 up, 9 down. When we come back, Hatterberg, Tejada, and Eric Chavez 2 up for the A's. They lead it 1-0.
How about the Iron Curtain?
The Iron Curtain, all time. That's all time.
That was the group.
That's all pro. You don't
The
get
Hogs.
that.
Oh, the Steel Curtain. The Iron Curtain. Yeah, the Steel Curtain. All of them.
Bruce, you must know that, man.
Yeah, but the Iron Curtain was another team. Oh, was it? Yeah. They were.
As we have started the bottom half of the 3rd inning, had a broken bat little blooper to Brett Boone in the 1st inning. Breaking ball down low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. It seems impossible that it's that time of the year when we are doing our last game on Chicago. but we are here this evening. The fastball out of play. And to Cairo, who has been a great partner over many, many years, and to our network affiliates, we say thank you. It's been a fabulous relationship. Mike, a broken back pop-up into shallow left center field, and Mike Hammond will make the catch. So one down. We thank you again for being such a valuable partner. It's been fun.
Also, I want to say thanks to Mike Speakin, who's been with us all these games. Does a great job for us. So once again, Mike Speakin, thanks. Appreciate all the work you do.
Tejada with the count 1-0. Rolled the base hit into right field. Down low, 2-0. And he didn't give in to that 2-0 fastball count. Instead, he threw a bender, but he missed with it.
Well, he's going to have to come up with a couple of good pitches here. There's one of them. You might see in this series, you might see Art Howe allow some of the hitters to hit 3-0.
Picked that slider almost off the ground and rolled it sharply right to Carlos. So 2 away in the Oakland third. And Mr. Chavez, who was up there and popped up to second in the first, and at the time appeared to be a huge second out because the A's had runners at first and third with 1 down. But Dave Justice came through that clutch 2-out base hit. Breaking ball is a strike to him on the inside corner.
Chavez is another guy that goes up there looking for fastballs, and he'll only swing at the curveball most of the time when you force him to. That is when he gets down to 2 strikes. Great power to all field. Look at that. Doesn't make any difference where. He just goes up there and tries to hit it. He doesn't care where it goes.
Good curveball. And it got 2-2. Up and into him that time, 2-2. Anaheim continues to trail Texas 1-0 in the second inning.
One of the areas that Chavez is trying to improve on, and that is his strikeouts.
Valdez was on his way over to the dugout. He thought that was a strike.
Chavez has gone 29 consecutive at-bats without striking out. He struck out 109 times on the year.
Curveball. right back below us in the stands. Fastball got him in on the thumbs, and it's going to be an out. Sorella will make the catch, and that will be that here in the third inning for the Oakland Athletics. So it'll be the second time through the lineup for Barry Zito, Ichiro, Carlos Guillen, and Brett Boone. When we come back, it's still 1-0 A's.
I could tell by the picture that I could build it, so why send away for the plans?
You got that right.
Right.
How do you keep this perfect temperature?
Oh, well, I got the barbecue from the backwoods, and I have it going underneath the tub and keeps it nice and bubbly and warm.
It is hot.
It'll settle down. What do you say we go grab a Henry?
When you're drinking Henry's, everything's worth toasting.
Is that your leg? Can you give me a little room, buddy?
Yeah.
Weimart first opened in 1955 to bring families quality merchandise at everyday low prices. A simple concept that's still appreciated. Now, Weimart serves over 1.3 million membership families. Weimart takes a lot of pride in being a part of the communities we serve, which is why you'll find discounts on family entertainment and sporting events in your community and across the Northwest. Stop by your Northwest neighborhood Weimart today and find out why we're not your average drug and discount store.
There's only one place to get your ultimate Seahawks coverage. Star running back Sean Alexander joins the Northwest Sports Report every Monday night. Get analysis and insight you'll find nowhere else. It's your inside look at the Seahawks all season long. The Northwest Sports Report, the only sports show Northwest fans will ever need. The Northwest Sports Report, featuring Sean Alexander, Mondays at 10 on Fox Sports Net.
Seattle Mariners baseball is brought to you by Weimart, proud to be part of the Northwest and proud to be Northwest owned and operated. And by MGD, cold filters for a pure beer and a pure night out. Pure MGD. So here we go into the fourth inning, and Barry Zito now will try it for the second time through the Mariner lineup. And Ichiro backs away from that big bender. Inside ball one. He caught looking in the first inning, starting it off.
Ichiro with a little 4-game hitting streak going. Sits safely in 114 games this year out of 140 plays.
They go 3-0 on him now. 15 games to go after tonight. Ichiro with 190 hits. 3-1. In the left field and diving and making the catch, John Mabry.
Looked like he hesitated, but then that ball carried a little bit farther, and John went after it and made a fine play. Ichiro hit it too hard that time. But in comes big John Mabry, and a fine defensive play by John. Looked like he hesitated right there at the very beginning. He was going to play that ball in the hop, but that ball carried so well, he decided to go after it.
So here's Carlos Guillen. Of the 10 outs recorded by Zito, only 2 of them have been ground outs, and this is one man right here. He grounded out. Guillen hit a ground ball to third.
You certainly know when things not going your way. You try to hold up on a pitch and the ball ends up hitting your bat. It's tough enough to hit it when you want it.
Another fly ball. The main guy's been a busy guy. That's his fourth put out. 2 away. Brett Boone now to hit. He was a victim of a die catch. That's a great changeup one. 78-mile-an-hour straight change.
Good pitch to start a lot of fastball hitters off with. And Boone, of course, goes up there first pitch a lot of times looking for the fastball. Start him off with a changeup, then that'll confuse the hitter.
Fastball down the middle. Zito's a 88, 87, 88, 89 mile-an-hour fastball guy. He's not 94, 95. There's that big hook. So down goes Boone. That's 12 in a row retired by Barry Zito. So when we come back, it's going to be Justice dying long. It's still 1-0 Oakland.
Agent Sever. Deadly. Relentless. Agent X. Ditto. It will take 2 extreme agents to stop a microscopic assassin. One touch of a button, you can give a head a state of heart attack.
My turn.
Antonio Banderas.
That's how I deal with stress.
Lucy Liu. Ballistic X versus Sever. This feature is not yet rated. Starts September 20th.
Tonight on the best damn sports show, period. The Lakers' Rick Fox gets in on the action. Hawkeye coach Hayden Fry, plus Aries from the big fight. And we're getting wild with Brooke Burke. Tonight at 11.
See it all again on Fox Sports Net. Did you miss the Huskies or the Cougars game? Don't worry, you can catch exciting Washington and Washington State football on Sundays too. All the hard-hitting, high-flying action of these Pac-10 powerhouses, just in case you weren't paying attention. College football re-airs Sundays on Fox Sports Net. Baseball's unstoppable force looks to roll on. Now it's must-win time as playoff contenders face off. MVP candidate Miguel Tejada and the streaking A's are the team to beat.
They're unstoppable.
While Ichiro and the Mariners are fighting to stay in the division race. Sunday at 1 on Fox Sports Net.
The A's up 1-0, and the reason why is stepping up at the plate to lead it off here in the fourth. A clutch 2-out RBI single by David Justice in the first inning. 1-0 to count on it. Drove in Ray Durham, who walked to lead off the ball game. One.
Seems like wherever this guy goes, the team ends up getting in the playoffs. So many years with the Atlanta Braves, and then went to Cleveland with the Yankees, now with the A's. Take a look at the career numbers in the 14 seasons that Justice has been playing. 305 home runs, over 1,000 runs driven in. work out. You've got that 3-1 count now. Good pitch that time by Valdez. Took something off the pitch. Had Justice really reaching for it, out in front looking for the fastball.
He got a fastball and lined it into right field for a base hit. So he's 2 for 2. That'll bring up Jermaine Dye. Fan Appreciation Night now and the Kids Appreciation Day. They're only a week away. And even if you can't make it to the games, you can still win great prizes, including the chance to have a bobblehead modeled after your likeness. Just send a postcard with your name, age, address, email, and phone number to the address right there on the screen. The Mariners say thank you. Strike on the outside corner to Jermaine Dye.
Dye has 19 home runs, Dave. 18 of them been hit against right-handed pitching. Did only 1 home run off a left-hander. Unusual for a big, strong, right-handed power hitter. Sees a lot of pitches. He averages 4.18 pitches per at bat. That's 3rd most in the American League. So he's quite selective up there at the plate.
Valdez up with his fastball, so the count 1-2 on Jermaine. Nice cool evening here in the Bay. Back up the middle. So the A's with 2 on, nobody out for Terrence Long.
Look at it again. Reaching out over the plate and shooting this one right back up the middle. Had enough on it. If you can get past the pitcher, good chance you could sneak it out into center field. That's what he's done. So Jermaine Dye continues to hit well the second half of the season. And now you have a guy up there. Here's a guy that you can double up, Dave. 16 double plays he has hit into this year. That is 8th most in the American League. And that's what Valdez needs right here.
1-1. So 2 left-handed batters in a row. Long and Mabry behind him. With nobody out, 1-0 A's and 2 on. One and one. On the inside corner. Of course, this town is, this area is baseball crazy. What with the Giants and the Dodgers in a dead heat for the wild card playoff spot. And tonight, San Francisco playing down in San Diego, even at 2-2. And the Dodgers leading Colorado, and Colorado 4-2 in the 6th. Interesting sign of fan lot that he made, obviously. I saw holding up a while ago. Speaking of Barry Zito, he said the best Barry in baseball.
Competition with the Giants.
Barry Bonds is having one incredible year. Looks like he's going to win his first batting championship. That's a routine fly ball. It's not going to be deep enough to move anybody up anyway. So one down. Now double play and you're out of a game. And John Mabry's the hitter.
The batter, left fielder, John Mabry.
Changed down low and away. Overwood, there's one, and back to Valdez, not in time.
Mabry
going to get it.
Yeah, I thought they were going to turn the double play. See Olerud taking a little bit of time to get rid of the ball. And the relay back in time, not quite there. See Guillen with a quick relay. And Valdez, see that Mabry beat it out, and Valdez very much in it. He thought for a second they may have had Mabry.
That little hesitation by Olerud, he had a little bit of a problem finding the handle on the ball.
May have had,
yeah,
may have had trouble getting out of the glove.
Ramon Hernandez, a base hit to right field in the second inning. Runners at first and third, 2 down in a 1-0 ball game. 0-1. Justice. That's Mr. Mabry. Swing and a miss. Throw through to second base on a hop, and they can't find it. Boom! Comes back to the plate, and they have got Justice at the plate. He never did get to the dish. So they tried the double steal, and Boone comes right back, even though it wasn't the greatest of throws, and they still nail him at the plate anyway. 2-4. 2 on Justice, caught stealing. Boone dropped the ball and still had time after Justice saw him drop the ball, tried to score, and he couldn't do it. Still 1-0.
College football Saturday. Young and talented UCLA must prove they're for real on the road.
Have scored a run, and they've just tied that ball game at 1-1 as Edgar Martinez takes a strike, 0-1. With Eckstein a sacrifice fly to tie that ball game in the third inning at Edison International Field. The ball will strike the count on Edgar.
You know, he uses it just often enough to plant that slow curveball in the mind of the hitter. And, boy, does he use it effectively. So that when you throw a fastball, you can see that ball was jamming Edgar. And it wasn't particularly that fast. That was only 86 miles an hour. Nevertheless, he had it right on by Edgar.
Giants and the Padres are a deuce apiece. And the Dodgers are up on Colorado in the 7th, 4-2. A little low with that curveball. Arizona 7 games up on both the Dodgers and the Giants, who are battling for the wild card spot. Toward the hole, Tejada's got a long throw to try and get Edgar, and he does. So far, the toughest play defensively for the A's tonight. But a fine defensive play by Miguel Tejada going into the hole, backhanding the ball, which is not easy. And then a strong throw. Just in time to get Edgar, and gets him by, oh, good golly, maybe 1 stride. So here is Olerud. He got it. Yeah, no question about that. Low, of course, arguing, but he nipped it. I think Lou down deep knows that Edgar was out. Lou trying to do something to get this team going. $13 in a row. Tired by Zito. Two fastballs for strikes. Fastball is up, but he gets away with it as Olerud hits it sharply, but to Mabry. Well, John hit it hard. Ichiro hit it hard. Edgar almost beat one out. So far, everything is going Barry Zito's way. Mariners have yet to able to not bang out a base hit. Look at it one more time. Out over the plate. Why that? Mabry. Ruben Sierra popped up to die. Dye has had to put out every inning. Outs, only 3 ground ball outs. Swing and a miss. The ball is dropped, but Hernandez will pick it up and throw to first in time. That's 5 strikeouts for Barry Zito and 15 in a row retired by the big, tall left-hander. So as we go to the bottom of the 5th, still 1-0 Oakland.
Now, during Ford authorized clearance, America's #1 selling truck just got a new number. 0% financing. That'll save you up to $1,680 in interest savings on the new Northwest Edition Ford F-150. That's a rugged F-150 with 2-tone paint, outline leather tires, and aluminum wheels. Or choose $2,500 cash back on America's best-selling truck. Now during Ford authorized clearance at your Northwest Ford stores.
Always on the cutting edge of technology. That's Car Toys. The latest innovations, the hottest new names in car audio, including Sirius Satellite Radio. 100 channels of digital entertainment you can take coast to coast with 60 channels of 100% commercial-free music. At Car Toys, you can add Sirius Satellite Radio to any car stereo for only $125 after $75 mail-in rebate from Sirius Satellite Radio. Car Toys, the road of life has never sounded better.
Hey guys, let's let's not forget, man, this is the NFL show.
And the NFL's hardcore, so we must stay hardcore.
That's right.
You know, Tom, you've been out here the longest. You got to make sure that, you know, me and Michael don't get caught up in that Hollywood stuff, you know?
You can count on me. If you guys fall off the wayside, just let me know, man.
Mike, I think I'm going to get the polish with a clear. No, just get a nice buff.
Hey, guys, how about a bikini wax next?
The NFL Show with Irvin, Syracuse, and Davidson, Saturday and Sunday on Fox Sports Net.
And welcome back to the Oakland Coliseum as we go to the bottom of the fifth inning. The A's lead by a score of 1-0. Game one of a big three-game series. Hi again, everybody. Rick Riz, along with David Henderson and Barry Zito, working on that no-hitter.
Hey, Rick, we knew this was going to be playoff atmosphere, and these pitchers are making it look that way. This ball game is going to be decided on one play here or there, and the way Zito's pitching, the boys need to scratch out a hit.
Leading things off for the Athletics here in the fifth inning. Ramon Hernandez sends one high and deep down the left field line. The distance is there, but it's offline, foul down the left field side. And the count is 0-2 on catcher Ramon Hernandez. Hernandez 1 for 1 with a single into right field back in the second. Ismael Valdez. Fouled away by Hernandez, and the count is still 0-2. Valdez with his 28th start of the year and his 5th as a Mariner. The only real blemish for Valdez early in the game, Hendu, was the leadoff walk to Ray Durham in the first, who came around to score. The two-out single by David Justice.
Yeah, he scored his 103rd run this year, so he's always been a catalyst, always been able to carry the mail to the dish.
Ground ball up the first base side, right to John Oliver. Says, I'll take it, Ismael, and makes the unassisted put out. So one out for the A's here in the fifth. Valdez has pitched well since coming over in a deal from the Texas Rangers on August the 18th.
Ray Durham.
He'll take a look at second baseman Ray Durham. Durham came over to the A's from the Chicago White Sox on July the 25th. This guy's always been a tough little out, indeed. Shows bunt, takes a pitch inside, ball one.
I think what makes him a tough out is he has great speed, he can bunt, but the outfielders can't cheat on him. He has power, too, but he can hit the ball in the gaps, and when you can't cheat in the outfield, it makes him a tough out.
Line drive over the head of shortstop Carlos Guillen and into left center field. So Ray Durham with his first base hit tonight. One on and one away for the Athletics here in the fifth.
Oh, look at the defense here. Carlos Guillen trying to go up the ladder and time this ball, but Ray Durham hits it about a foot over his glove, and it gets out in the outfield. Cameron has to deal with that new sod out there that the Raiders played here last Sunday, of which I was watching the game, and you look at the new sod out there, it's treacherous for a center fielder.
Sure.
Right in this area, all new sod, and it's just, you have to watch out. You almost have to go out there and block the ball. So with the speed of Ray Durham, Cameron makes a nice play.
There's a little toss over the first base to get Durham back. Yeah, the sod really hasn't had a lot of time to take root. They have the bleachers for the Oakland Raiders come in to form the sideline out there in center field. Scott Hatteberg takes a strike from Valdez, 0-1. Hatteberg is 0 for 2. He's lined out softly to Brett Boone at second base. He's also popped up to center fielder Mike Cameron. Valdez keeping an eye on Ray Durham at first base. Durham has 23 stolen bases, 8th in the league. Line drive, base hit down the right field line for Hatteberg. Durham heading for third. Ichiro up with the ball quickly to keep Hatteberg to a single. The throw-in is cut off by Boone. So that'll keep the double play in order, but the A's have runners at first and third with one out.
Well, you wonder why lineups are put the way they are. Hatteberg can pull the ball, and every time he pulls it to right field, and Ray Durham with the speed on first base, it's going to be first and third. That's why managers make these type of lineups. You want a guy that can pull the ball behind the runner. Hatteberg certainly a pull hitter.
Hatteberg on at first base. Ray Durham on at third, 1 out. And Valdez has to take a look at the new Oakland hit leader, Miguel Tejada, for a single season. He had a single to right field back in the first inning for his 188th hit. That is a new Oakland franchise record. 0-1 the count. To the count on Miguel Tejada.
And what Ismael Valdez has done, he's darted that inside quarter, and everybody that knows driving in runs, you want the ball out over the plate, preferably a fastball. But Tejada, being an accomplished hitter, he's a grown-up hitter now. He can handle the dish, and he looked away early in the count.
Fly ball, deep left field. Sierra going back to the warning track to make the catch. Tagging at third and scoring is Ray Durham. The throw to second will keep Hatteberg over at first base. But give Tejada a sacrifice fly to left field and a run batted in. Ray Durham scores the second run for the A's, and Oakland on top now by a score of 2-0.
And Rick, as the Oakland Coliseum here, Network Associates Coliseum, it's kind of cool. Tejada hit this ball very well, but it barely gets to the warning track. Ismael Valdez went to the well 3 times. Fastball in, fastball in. Tejada covering the plate, knowing he only needs a fly ball, got it to the outfielder.
So 1 run in for the A's here in the 5th, 2 outs. Hatteberg on at first base, and here's third baseman Eric Chavez. Up and away. Ball 1. Eric Chavez has popped up twice, 0 for 2. Another change, and it's low. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Oakland losing last night down in Anaheim to the Angels by a score of 7-6. The Angels won the final 3 games of that 4-game series. And right now are tied with the A's for the top spot in the West. Chavez pops one straight up the chute. Right behind home plate. Dan Wilson is there, and he makes the catch for out number 3. But the A's get 1 run on a couple of base hits, and they leave a man. And after 5 innings of play, it's the Athletics 2 and the Mariners nothing.
On the next Beyond the Glory, Jim Kelly was the catalyst that built a football powerhouse. He was the absolute force behind those teams, though ultimate glory eluded his grasp. And here we let one slide through our hands. But an even greater battle.
It's something that you never, ever expect is ever going to happen.
Allowed him to make a difference.
Through him, there will be miracles.
Jim Kelly, Beyond the Glory, Sunday at 7 on Fox Sports Net.
There's only one place to get your ultimate Seahawks coverage. Star running back Sean Alexander joins the Northwest Sports Report every Monday night. Get analysis and insight you'll find nowhere else. It's your inside look at the Seahawks all season long. The Northwest Sports Report, the only sports show Northwest fans will ever need. The Northwest Sports Report, featuring Sean Alexander, Mondays at 10 on Fox Sports Net. Baseball's unstoppable force looks to roll on. Now it's must-win time as playoff contenders face off. MVP candidate Miguel Tejada and the streaking A's are the team to beat.
They're unstoppable.
While Ichiro and the Mariners are fighting to stay in the division race. Sunday at 1 on Fox Sports Net.
2-0 A's as we go to the top half of the 6th inning. Let's go down to Anaheim. Bottom of the 3rd inning, a 1-1 tie. Garrett Anderson lines a base hit into straightaway center field. That scores Darren Erstad. And the Angels have the lead in that ball game by a score of 2-1, and Anderson is able to sneak into second base. They're now in the 4th inning. Angels lead 2-1 over the Texas Rangers. Mike Cameron leading off the 6th inning. Takes a strike from Barry Zito, 0-1, and Zito is working on a no-hitter through 5. And he's retired everybody he's faced. 1-1 to count. 15 up and 15 set down by Barry Zito. Strike on the outside corner, 1-2 on Cameron. Will be followed by Dan Wilson and Jeff Cirillo.
Well, when you get a pitcher in a rhythm like this, you've got to try to upset things with a bunt, swing hard, try to make him mad, do anything.
And Mike Cameron does that, Hendry. He calls time, he backs out of the box.
All right, before Zito was set to come to the plate, you want to upset his timing, throw him off rhythm.
Ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zito has been to a 3-ball count only once. That was the Ichiro. Here's the 2-2 to Cameron. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 out for the Mariners here in the 6th inning. And it is strikeout number 6 for Barry Zito, who has a lot of fans here at this ballpark.
Rick, people ask me, how can a pitcher throw a ball 87, 88 miles an hour by hitters? Because he has a great curveball. You have that curveball in the back of your mind, and that 87, 88 mile an hour fastball gets by you, as you saw it got by Mike Cameron.
See, for every strikeout for Barry Zito, yeah, it makes that fastball look about 95 miles an hour. Dan Wilson takes ball 1. Dan had a good at-bat his first time up in the 3rd inning, Hendry.
Well, I think he's seeing the ball very well, going 4 for 4 last night, hitting the ball right on the nose.
Here in the dirt for ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Barry Zito, perfect through 5 1/3 innings. Hasn't given up a hit. Trying to put the whammy on. Up and away, ball 3, 3-0 to count. It was back in late April of 1990 that a Mariner pitcher, Brian Holman, was 1 out away from a perfect game here at this ballpark.
He's lucky I wasn't playing.
And it's high for ball 4, so Dan Wilson with a 1-out walk, and the Mariners have their first base runner off of Barry Zito tonight. 6 strikeouts along the way, 7 outs in the air, 3 in the ground, and the first walk given up by Barry Zito.
And the first time he gets into the stretch, you look at him, this is a high fastball. This is a pitch that hitters have been swinging at the top of the zone. Ahead in the count, Dan Wilson says, I don't have to swing at that pitch. It's not close when you're ahead in the count.
1 on, 1 away, and here's third baseman Jeff Cirillo. Jeff 0 for 1. He struck out in the 3rd. Ball 1. But Brian Holman was 1 out away from a perfect game, leading 6-0 when pinch hitter Kenny Phelps of the A's, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning, hit a line drive home run to right field over the head of Henry Cotto to break up the bid for the perfect game, the no-hitter. There was a shutout, but Brian Holman came right back and he struck out Ricky Henderson for the final out. He won the game 6-1. Fouled away off the catcher Hernandez. And the count is 1-1.
Rick, I remember what Kenny Phelps came back to the dugout and told us. He said, you guys have been up there all day. You expect me to go up there and get a hit off this guy, pitch a no-hitter? He goes up there and hits the home run, and he goes, ha ha, I got him.
Over to first base to get Dan Wilson back.
Well, this could be a turning point in the ball game too. This late in the ball game, having a pitcher go through the stretch for the first time throws him off the rhythm we were talking about. He was in a perfect rhythm, not thinking about going in the stretch. Of course, no hit. You don't have to go into a stretch.
Fly ball to straightaway center field. Long drifting back. He's there to make the catch. 2 outs for the Mariners here in the 6th. A's lead 2-0. Brings up Ichiro. The Mariners have the tying run at home plate. Here is Ichiro to face Barry Zito. Catfish Hunters, number 27, retired here at the Oakland Coliseum, actually Networks Associates Coliseum. Catfish Hunter had a no-hitter back in 1968. Ichiro, a fastball for a strike on one. Ichiro 0 for 2, hit the ball hard. Lined out to Mabry in left field, made an outstanding catch in the fourth. Big curve, strike on the outside corner. The count is 0-2. I mean, it's a sweeping curveball. Starts high, breaks low. The 0-2. Ground ball right side, charging Ray Durham, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits through 6 for Barry Zito, and a man left on. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. A's lead 2-0.
Remember your first house? How you made it just the way you wanted it? At Wells Fargo, we know what you put into your home.
Baseball is brought to you by Acura. Experience the performance today at your local Acura dealer. And by Wells Fargo, the next stage.
Bottom half of the 6th inning, A's lead by a couple 2-0. Say, friends, beginning on September the 24th, the A's and Mariners will tangle in Seattle for the Mariners' final home series of the 2002 regular season. The 24th is Super Tuesday. Lowe's Ichiro poster night for the first 20,000 fans, and Thursday the 26th is another U.S. Bank Mariner matinee beginning at 3:35. Tickets for this big 3-game series are available now at Mariners team stores and all Ticketmaster ticket outlets. David Justice leads off the bottom of the 6th inning. He's 2 for 2 tonight with a run batted in. Down the line and out of play. 1-1 to count on Justice, and it seems like, man, this guy has always been very tough against the Mariners.
Well, I think he has that aura about him, playoff World Series aura, and the respect mode when he steps to the dish is a tremendous.
Fouled away, and the count is 1-2. He's now played in more postseason games than anybody in history.
And of course, he doesn't have the power and the quickness that he used to have, but when David Justice steps into that batter's box on the left side, it's still him. You don't realize that he's about 10 years older.
Inside with a slider, backs away, ball 2-2. Justice on the last completed road trip for the A's hit only 125 and only 3 hits in 24 at-bats.
Reputation precedes him.
2-2 pitch. Inside again, ball 3. Full count 3-2. Baseball is a game of ups and downs. Prior to that, the previous 12 games, he hit 354. On deck for the A's, right fielder Jermaine Dye. The Mariners have yet to figure out Barry Zito. The pitch is inside. The appeal down to the third base umpire to check swing, and it's ball 4. So Justice with a leadoff walk. The second walk given up by Valdez, who's pitched well tonight, looking for some offensive support. Here's right fielder Jermaine Dye, who is 1 for 2 with a single to center field.
Well, all you can do as a pitcher is do your job and try to keep this ball game close. And Ismael Valdez, he's done that. He's only down by 2 runs. He's got the offense in the dugout very quickly.
Ground ball to shortstop Carlos Guillen, over to Boone for 1, on to John Olerud. Easy double play turned by Boone and Carlos Guillen along with John Olerud at the end. 4-6-4-3, the double play. They get Justice at second, double up Dye at first base.
An off-speed pitch by Valdez, and he does exactly what he's supposed to do, get a ground ball to the middle of the infield to make it easier for those infielders. Carlos Guillen, nice feed to Boone. Easy double play.
Brings up center fielder Terrence Long. Ball 1. The Oakland A's with one of the longest winning streaks in baseball history. They had 20 wins in a row snapped by the Minnesota Twins not that long ago, and since the 20-game winning streak, they have gone 3-4. They dropped their last 3 games in Anaheim for that 4-game series.
And I think from the Mariners standpoint, they saw those 20 victories. They're looking for it to average out a bit. The A's are looking for to get back on track. The Mariners want them to keep a losing streak.
Ground ball to the right side. Brett Boone is there. And it's a 1-2-3 bottom of the 6th inning for the A's despite the leadoff walk to David Justice. We go to the top half of the 7th. Mariners still trying to get to Barry Zito. A's lead 2-0.
See it all again on Fox Sports Net. Did you miss the Huskies or the Cougars game? Don't worry, you can catch exciting Washington and Washington State football on Sundays too. All the hard-hitting, high-flying action in these Pac-10 powerhouses, just in case you weren't paying attention. College football re-airs Sundays on Fox Sports Net.
I was setting the tackle up all game long. He thought he could block me, but he didn't know what he was talking about.
Hey, Skip, let's listen in on Michael Strahan.
Aye, aye, to the diving board.
JB, Terry, and Howie return with football's most animated pregame show, featuring Jillian's Forecast and Jimmy Kimmel's Upset Special. Fox NFL Sunday, this week on your local Fox station. Every Sunday, before they start their engines, it's NASCAR This Morning.
Fasten your seatbelt. Look at him go. Doesn't get any better than this.
It's the show that takes you inside the world of NASCAR for all the breaking stories on or off the track.
Absolutely outstanding. It's almost racing.
Don't miss the best pre-race party this side of Talladega.
Absolutely wild.
NASCAR This Morning, Sunday at 6:30 on Fox Sports Net.
2-0 A's. We go to the top half of the 7th inning. Say, friends, the Mariners return to Safeco Field beginning on Monday to face Texas for a 4-game series. Also next Thursday is Red Hook Soto Mojo Headband Night for the first 20,000 fans, 21 and over. For tickets to the 4-game Rangers series and the rest of the Mariners' upcoming 10-game homestand, log on to SeattleMariners.com, where you can also vote for your favorite Major League Baseball moment. Terrence Long hurt himself in that last at-bat in the bottom of the 6th inning, Henry.
Yeah, but Rick, this is the A's 147th game. He's played in 146 of them, so hit himself on the ankle. He's going to be in the ball game. Him and Tejada, the only guys that played in 146 games. This guy goes out and plays every day. Bumps and bruises, he's out there.
Long trying to stretch out that back side of his left leg. Carlos Guillen leading off the 7th inning. Takes a strike, and the count is 0-2. Barry Zito working on a no-hitter through 6. The Mariners have had only one base runner. That was a one-out walk to Dan Wilson in the 6th. One ball and 2 strikes on Carlos. Barry Zito, the only 20-game winner in the American League. Kurt Schilling, 23 wins. Randy Johnson, 21. In the dash leg, high fly ball, left center. John Mabry is there. And so is Long, and Terrence calls him off of it and makes the catch. One out for the Mariners here in the 7th inning.
Well, I guess that ankle is okay in Terrence Long in center field. He wanted to let everybody know that he can run, and you see he has a little bit of a limp, gimp going there, but goes over and calls off Mabry because the center fielder has command.
86 pitches for Zito. Here's Brett Boone, a strike at the knees on the outside corner. Boone has flied out to right, also struck out. 1-1. A's a run in the first, one more in the 5th. High, ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. Barry Zito, the 20-5 record, but what's really impressive as well is the fact he is 11-1 after an Oakland loss. He is their stopper. Ground ball hit hard, but Tejada is there to scoop it up and get Boone at first. 2 outs. for the Mariners here in the top half of the 7th, and Barry Zito has yet to give up a hit. There's Catfish Hunter with a no-hitter against the Twins, and that was also a perfect game back in 1968. Vida Blue with a no-hitter in 1970 also against the Twins. 4 pitchers combined for a no-hitter back in 1975 against the California Angels. There's Mike Warren in 1983, and then the guy that you played with, Dave Stewart, against Toronto in 1990.
Yes, in 1990, Dave Stewart, I got the privilege of catching the last out of that no-hitter.
Here's designated hitter Edgar Martinez. A curveball for a strike, 0-1, and Barry Zito has that pitch on a string all night long. Fastball fouled out of play. 0-2 the count.
I think the game changes when you have guys like Boone and Edgar up there. Look at the zeros he's putting up. You can't just lay the ball in there and say, okay, if he gets the base hit to right, no problem. You have to go for the outs now if you're Zito, for the quality pitchers when you're behind the count.
Nothing but zeros for Zito. High ball 1-1-2 the count on Edgar. Edgar is flying out to long and center, grounded out to Tejada H short. Check swing. Did he go? Did he bring the bat with him? No, he did not. He appealed down to the first base umpire, Mike DeMuro. And the count is even on Edgar at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And Rick, this is a swing if you take when a guy's throwing about 100 miles an hour. Zito only throws 87 miles an hour. So he's got the curveball on Edgar's mind, in the back of his mind. Protect for that curveball, and that fastball is jumping on him.
2-2. Well, Kirk dropped it in for strike 3 and side retired. Strikeout number 7 for Barry Zito. He's got a no-hitter through 7. We go to the bottom of the 8th. A's lead 2-0.
Tonight on the best damn.
Bottom of the 7th inning, left fielder John Mabry leads it off, and he takes ball 1 for Ismael Valdez. Fouls away the next pitch, and the count goes to 1-1. The A's lead by a score of 2-0. The story right now, Barry Zito working on a no-hitter through his 7 innings of work. John Mabry 0 for 2. Rounds one up the first base line, but foul picked up by John Olerud, and the count is 1-2 on Mabry. Activity down in the Mariner bullpen. Doug Creek warming up. It has been a tale of 2 cities for the Mariners on this road trip. In Kansas City, Mariners swept the Royals in a 3-game series and scored 39 runs. And then the Rangers swept the Mariners in a 4-game series at the ballpark in Arlington. The offense wasn't there. And tonight here in Oakland, the Mariners are still looking for their first hit off of Barry Zito. This guy has pitched well.
And I think that's why Doug Creek is in the bullpen. Lou Piniella has to keep this game close.
Swing and a miss by Mabry for strike 3. And Ismael Valdez has his first strikeout tonight. 1 away for the Athletics here in the 7th.
And we look at a good overhand breaking ball from Valdez, and it goes down almost out of the strike zone. Mabry swinging over the top of it, and he's pitched a great ball game, and it's Valdez.
1 away, and here's catcher Ramon Hernandez, who is 1 for 2 with a single in the right field. Takes ball 1.
Well, even though Barry Zito does have a no-hitter, we do have a ball game here. Only a 2-run lead.
To Hopper to Jeff Cirillo. Toss across, and plenty of time to get Hernandez. So 2 outs for the A's here in the 7th. Mariners are still definitely in this game, down by a couple, and especially in this ballpark. Well, in Anaheim, the Angels now lead the Rangers by a score of 3-2. Texas getting the run on a home run by Todd Green. So the Rangers pulled it within 1. Todd Green did a lot of damage the last 2 nights against the Mariners in Texas. Here's second baseman Ray Durham, who's done a lot of damage tonight for the A's against the Mariners. He walked and scored in the first, singled and scored the A's second run in the 5th.
0-1. Now, if we get that shot in the dugout, Barry Zito pitching a no-hitter. Usually, there's nobody around you when you're pitching a no-hitter.
Well hit ball deep to right field, down the line. Goodbye baseball. Ray Durham with his 13th home run of the year. It's now the A's 3 and the Mariners nothing. And Ray Durham has scored all 3 runs for Oakland tonight.
Well, Rick, we were talking about the spark plug of Ray Durham at the top of the lineup, the speed he has, not necessarily the stolen base, but when he gets on base, he's going to be on third on any ball hit, and he adds power. Look at the breaking ball, ends up in, and Ray Durham, he has gap power, but when you throw a breaking ball in on him, speeds up that bat, he hits it out of the ballpark.
Ray Durham, number 13 out of the year, a breaking ball, and he hits it out of the ballpark to right field. First baseman Scott Hannaford sends one out of play on the third base side, and it carries 0-2 on Hannaford. Hannaford 1 for 3. It was Hannaford's home run that extended the A's winning streak to 20. A game-winning home run in the bottom of the ninth. Down and away for ball 1, 1 ball and 2 strikes. What an incredible run for the A's, winning 20 games in a row. The third highest winning streak in baseball history. Little pop-up into shallow left field. Carlos Guillen going out, calling for it, and he makes the catch for out number 3. The A's 1 run, 1 big hit. The home run to right by Ray Durham. We go to the top of the 8th. Barry Zito has yet to give up a hit. After 7, Oakland 3, and the Mariners nothing.
Wow. Wow is right, because with Dish Network, you get a free 2-receiver system and free standard professional installation. Wow. Buy a 2-receiver system for $199 and get 12 monthly equipment credits of $17, which makes it free. Visit Sears or a participating retailer today or call 1-800-333-DISH.
Spin car 1. Go for 1. Looks like we got some uninvited visitors flying in from the west. Looking for a little preview, huh? Better come on in and cover up that car right now. Roger that. I'm at the third turn. I'm coming in.
Introducing the much-anticipated all-new Accord from Honda.
Oh, yeah.
Can't be like anybody else's show.
No.
And you know what? Let's not say that we're going to be cutting edge. Let's be cutting edge. Like this you got on right now. Don't even put sleeves on.
I will show up.
You know what I mean? I mean, you got to show the pad.
Take them with that. That's like a sidewalk thing. There you go. I'm with that. There you go. Y'all see I got the money. Yeah. I come like this here. Can I come this way? I'll come like this.
The NFL Show with Irvin, Syracuse, and Davidson. Saturday and Sunday on Fox Sports Net.
Look at that. You're hanging out here, bro.
3-0 A's as we go to the top half of the 8th inning. Here's what happened back on April the 27th. We'll show it to you in a second. In a game between the Mariners and the A's at Safeco Field earlier this year. John Olerud leads off the top half of the 8th inning. Barry Zito working at a no-hitter, drops a curveball over for a strike. 0-1.
And you can see the fans are starting to get into every pitch, every strike that Zito throws.
Line drive into center field, and there's the first base hit for the Mariners off of Barry Zito. There goes the no-hit bid as John Olerud hits a clean line drive single right back up the middle into center. And the Mariners have their leadoff man aboard here in the 8th. But what a performance tonight by young left-hander Barry Zito. He gives up the first hit to the Mariners here in the top half of the 8th.
And I think that's the way you want to see it, Rick. A clean base hit, no controversy, no in-between plays where this is a breaking ball over the middle of the plate. Olerud, that classic swing of his, hits it right back up the middle, and no controversy. The Mariners get their first hit.
Here's left fielder Ruben Sierra, and he takes a strike, 0-1 the count. Ruben 0 for 2, has fly to right, struck out his last time up in the 5th inning. Base hit into left field through the hole at short. So Ruben Sierra with a single. John Olerud down at second, and right away here in the top half of the 8th, the Mariners will bring the tying run to the plate in center fielder Mike Cameron. 3-0 A's. Left-hander Ricardo Rincon warming up down to the bullpen, and the right-hander is Chad Bradford, the submarine-style pitcher.
Well, Rick, right after the base hit, Art Howe got the bullpen ready. He knows this is a tight ball game. No hitter in mind, but he's got to think about winning ball games. A 3-run lead with the Mariners getting to 0 the 3rd time around the lineup. He says, I'm going to get my bullpen hot and ready. So this young kid pitching a great ball game doesn't just have it slip right through the hourglass that quick. You see Art Howe, he's going out there very slowly, giving the bullpen a chance to warm up, and going to give Zito a couple more hitters, but trying to get that bullpen time to warm up.
So Art Howe, the slow walk out to the mound. Barry Zito has been absolutely incredible. A no-hitter through 7. But then back-to-back singles by Olerud and Sierra here in the 8th. A's lead 3-0. Now, the game we were talking about back in April the 27th in Seattle, Ted Lilly for the New York Yankees had a no-hitter into the 8th inning. But then a walk and a wild pitch. Desi Rutherford singled. And pinch runner Luis Ugueta was able to score. The Mariners ended up winning that ball game against Lilly by a score of 1-0. That's when he was with the Yankees. Ted Lilly will get the start on Sunday for the Oakland A's. Here is Mike Cameron, the tying run at home plate.
And what that home run of Ray Durham did was took the bunt sacrifice out of the picture. So Cameron's got to make sure he stays out of the double play.
High and outside, ball 1. Solid base hits by Olerud and Sierra. 2 on. Chavez playing in a few steps over at third base. Inside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, even when you have a no-hitter going, Rick, you're going to always have an inning where you struggle a little bit, where the game's going to be on the line. And this might be the time for the Mariners to capitalize, because the way this guy's pitching, you're not going to have too many opportunities.
Strike called. 2-1 on Mike. We had 2 hits yesterday down in Texas and a run batted in. Barry Zito's 3rd start against the Mariners this year. Olerud on at second. Sierra at first base. Canning, 22 home runs on the year. And it's low. Ball 3. 3-1 the count. And on deck is catcher Dan Wilson. He became the game's first, or rather the Mariners' first base runner, with 1 out in the 6th inning against Zito with a walk. High fly ball into the gap in right center field. Getting over, Jermaine Dye is there to make the catch. 1 away, and the runners have to stay. The throw-in is cut off by Miguel Tejada. Mike Cameron flies out. Olerud back to second. Sierra at first base.
Well, normally you could tag up and go to third on this ball, but John Olerud with the tender legs, and it is a chilly night in Oakland. We're not in Texas anywhere where it's 90 or 100 degrees, and he couldn't take a chance of trotting over to third, because the outfielder has to keep the double play in order. He has to throw the ball to second base. You can't throw it all the way to third, but John Olerud's legs keep him from going to third.
Here's catcher Dan Wilson. Ball 1. Where Zito has been throwing strike 1 all night long with either his fastball or that big breaking ball. It's been a little bit different story for Zito here in the 8th. One and 1. Changeup. We haven't seen too many. from Barry Zito, but he's got that third pitch. So this is the type of ball game you love. If you're Dan Wilson, you got the game on the line right here. The game isn't always on the line in the 9th inning when you're facing the closer. It's on the line right now. It's party time, Rick. Olerud, Sierra, getting the board with back-to-back singles. 1 out. Drive on the outside corner at the knees, and it's 1-2 on Dan. Dan telling home plate umpire Jerry Lane he thought the pitch was a little low and outside.
And a little bit off the plate. And if you see that movement of the glove by Hernandez right there, he didn't think it was a strike. When they try to move it back to the plate, the catcher doesn't think it's a strike.
Fouled away. Right over the top of the Mariners' first base dugout, and it's still 1-2 on Dan Wilson.
Yeah, if you're ever any doubt of if a pitch is on the plate or off the plate, the catcher will let you know. If he doesn't move his glove, it's right on the outside corner. But if he moves that glove back toward the plate, he thinks it's outside.
Fouled off again by Dan. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Barry Zito has won his last 5 starts. There is a chance to get to Zito here in the 8th. Ground ball on a hop, knocked down at third by Chavez. Over to second for 1. Relay to first is in time for the double play. And that will retire the side. Barry Zito works out of a jam, and we go to the bottom half of the 8th. A's lead 3-0.
Baseball's unstoppable force looks to roll on. Now it's must-win time as playoff contenders face off. MVP candidate Miguel Tejada and the streaking A's are the team to beat.
They're unstoppable.
While Ichiro and the Mariners are fighting to stay in the division race. Sunday at 1 on Fox Sports 9. There's only one place to get your ultimate Seahawks coverage. Star running back Sean Alexander joins the Northwest Sports Report every Monday night. Get analysis and insight you'll find nowhere else. It's an inside look at the Seahawks all season long. The Northwest Sports Report, the only sports show Northwest fans will ever need. The Northwest Sports Report, featuring Sean Alexander, Mondays at 10 on Fox Sports 9. See it all again on Fox Sports 9. Did you miss the Huskies or the Cougars game? Don't worry, you can catch exciting Washington and Washington State football on Sundays too. All the hard-hitting, high-flying action of these Pac-10 powerhouses, just in case you weren't paying attention. College football re-airs Sundays on Fox Sports 9.
A's lead by a score of 3-0 behind the pitching of that young man right there, Barry Zito. Say, friends, the best way to get the insider and player appearances, special Mariner events, or game recaps and previews is with the AT&T Wireless Mariners fan phone. Just dial the AT&T Wireless fan phone at 1-800-MY-MARINERS and get all the latest news on your favorite players wherever and whenever you want. That's the AT&T Wireless fan phone at 1-800-MY-MARINERS. Bottom half of the 8th inning, Oakland on top, 3-0. We've got a new pitcher for the Mariners. Lefty Doug Creek will take over in relief from Ismael Valdez.
Ismael Valdez pitched a strong 7 innings, and Lou Piniella didn't want to take him any farther. Doug Creek comes into the ball game, and you see 46 game 3-2 record, high ERA, but 248 the opponent's average. He has a good fastball, good overhand curveball. But the first guy he has to face is right-handed hitting Miguel Tejada.
Tejada 1 for 2 with a single and a run batted in. Picked up the RBI with a sacrifice fly to left field in the 5th inning. Ball 1 with a slider from Creek. Mariners will have one more chance in the top half of the 9th inning. Due up Jeff Cirillo, Ichiro, and Carlos Guillen. Fouled away, 1-1. Miguel Tejada has played in 417 consecutive games and handled just about every pitch of every one of those games. Check swing. Ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. He has a ways to go to catch Cal Ripken Jr.
Well, I hope it doesn't get to where he even thinks about it, because that can destroy your body as a middle infielder. You got to have a few days off in the course of the year.
That's the amazing thing about Ripken's record. He shattered the record set by Lou Gehrig. Gehrig's record for consecutive games played was 2,130. And Ripken played in over 2,500 consecutive games. Fouled away by Tejada. Full count, 3-2.
Well, it got to a point where the streak was more important to a manager's decision. You couldn't bench him if you wanted to. It was up to him, and of course Ripken wanted to play every day, as Miguel Tejada wants to play every day. So one of these days, in the next couple of years, Art Howe's going to be looking for him to sprain something or take himself out of the lineup to stop the streak so he doesn't get to that point.
It became controversial the last few years of the streak. Inside on Tejada for ball 4. So a leadoff walk to Miguel Tejada from Doug Creek. Doug Creek got the win in the last victory for the Mariners on this road trip in Kansas City. 11 innings. Mariners won that ball game eventually by a score of 16-9. But the Royals had a chance to win the game in the bottom of the 9th inning when they had the bases loaded. Actually, in the bottom of the 10th inning when Creek came on with the bases loaded. 1 out. Here's Eric Chavez. Up and in on Chavez for ball 1. But then Creek was able to get Brent Maine to hit into a 4-6-3 double play to retire the side in the 10th. Mariners scored 8 times in the 11th inning to win the game 16-9. Chavez 0 for 3 tonight. Has popped up all 3 times. Fouls a pitch away from Creek. 1-1.
Well, I don't think Lou Piniella was very mad about the walk to Tejada. He knew the matchup was in Tejada's favor, but the guys you have to pitch to is Chavez and, of course, Justice. You have to get these guys out if you're the left-handed pitcher. And Lou Piniella saying, Tejada, okay, you put him over at first, he didn't hurt us, but get these left-handed hitters out.
Cross the first base to get Tejada back. After the loss in Anaheim last night by the A's to the Angels 7-6, Chavez kind of challenged his teammates. He was quoted after the ballgame as saying, "We had no emotion, no love for the game the past few games. I don't know if we're tired or what, but they wanted it more than we did." Low, ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. Close by Chavez after the loss last night in Anaheim as the Angels ended up in a tie for the top spot with the A's in the West. 2-2.
I think he realized that winning 20 games is nice and cute, winning those games in a row, but they're still in a pennant race there with the Angels, and they have to keep winning. That 20 victories, that's history. That's in the past.
What's amazing about the 20-game winning streak for the A's is the fact that the Angels were still right there, right on their heels. Popped up again, foul third base side, a lot of room here at the Coliseum. Jeff Cirillo near the dugout is there to make the catch. So 1 out for the A's here in the 8th with a man aboard.
And you were wondering why the A's hit record was 187. That's the reason why right there. You don't get that extra swing with this foul territory here at the Coliseum. Networks associate that in other ballparks you get another swing. So that extra 10 or 12 hits that you get 200 hits, they're outs in Oakland.
That ball would have been way back into the seats in a lot of ballparks, but not here. 1 on, 1 away, bottom of the 8th. A's lead 3-0. Here's David Justice. Strike on the outside corner, 0-1. After the A's had that 20-game win streak, Anaheim was only about 3 games behind Oakland. The Angels have won 3 in a row and 13 of their last 14 games. Line drive, base hit into right field by Justice. Tejada heading for third. Ichiro's throw will go into second base to keep the double play in order. And Justice at first. Runners at first and third and 1 out.
Well, as cold as Justice was on that long road trip, hitting only $150 or so, 3 for 3 tonight with a walk, and hits on a curveball and pulls it into the corner and gets Tejada over to third.
Doug Creek in a jam here in the 8th inning, 1 out, brings up right fielder Jermaine Dye. And David Justice has always been a thorn in the side of the Mills. Jermaine Dye is 1 for 3 with a single to center. Last time up, hit into a double play in the 6th. Ball 1. 38,210 tonight here at the Network Associates Coliseum. Here's a look at the crowd tonight. Game time temperature 59 degrees. Also the home for the Oakland Raiders. Way outside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. You were here on Sunday for that game, huh, Andrew?
Saw the Seahawks and Raiders, and not too proud to say that I was wearing all black. Us Bay Area guys, we stick by the Raiders.
Time is called. Pitching coach Brian Price out to the mound to talk with Doug Creek.
I think I was just being smart. I don't think you can wear Seahawks colors in with a Raiders game. They're kind of nuts here. They'll kill you.
Brian Price talking things over with Doug Creek. Starter Ismael Valdez went 7 innings and gave up 3 runs, all earned. On 8 hits, walked only 2 and had 1 strikeout. There's a look at the bullpen, where now Shigetoshi Hasegawa begins to warm up.
But if you're a left-hander in that bullpen coming in to play Oakland, the A's here, you know you're going to pitch, and it's because of so many left-handed bats they can throw at you. So Creek and Arthur Rhodes, Halama, those guys, they know they're going to get into the ballgame.
Durham, Hannaford, Chavez, Justice, Long, Mabry. Here's Jermaine Dye. Outside, ball 3. 3 in all the count. Away the pitch off the mask, and the mask comes right off the face. Catcher Dan Wilson. And off his hand. Full count on Dye, 3-2.
Good old-fashioned hard ball. Doug Creek pumps it up to 94 miles an hour. Just challenges Jermaine Dye with a fastball. Here it is. Hit it if you can. Good low rotation down there, and if he hits it, it's on the ground. But Doug Creek just challenged Jermaine Dye.
To first base to get Justice back. And he misses inside for ball 4, and the A's have the bases loaded with 1 out. Second walk served up by Doug Creek. Dye walks. He's at first. Justice down at second. Miguel Tejada is out at third base with 1 away, and the batter will be center fielder Terrence Long. Lupinello off the dugout bench. And
Here is Long. Now Lou Piniella knows there's nothing he can really do. Send his players out to with the matchups, and this is Doug Creek's last hitter, left-handed hitter, Terrence Long, because the pinch hit possibility of Mabry coming up. Art Howe has a lot of right-handed hitters on the bench that he can go to, and Hasagawa will be facing that right-handed.
And Wilson out to talk things over with Doug Creek. Manager Art Howe, his 7th year with the Oakland A's, his 12th year as a big league manager. Saw his ball club get off to a slow start this year at 19-25. They were 10 games out of first place. Since then, they've gone 72-30. Bases loaded, 1 out. 3-0 A's. Ball 1.
You would think a manager, when you win 20 games in a row, they would be ecstatic, but the only thing he could talk about to me was my closer, my closer. He had 4 wins. That means he had 4 blown saves.
Yeah.
And in that 20-game stretch, and there's something to always worry about if you're a manager.
One and one the count on Long.
Well, right now, if you're Art Howe, you're worried about Barry Zito taking this long sit down in between innings. You want him to go back out there to get a chance for the shutout, but if he sits down too long, you're thinking about getting him out of there and foregoing the shutout attempt.
Right now, no one warming up to the Oakland bullpen. Low and outside. That wasn't even close, and the count goes to 2-1 on Long. Doug Creek really hasn't been able to throw that good slider for a strike, falling behind early in the count. And there's a look at Barry Zito, who had a no-hitter through 7. And then John Olerud led off the 8th inning with a line drive base at the center, followed by Ruben Sierra's single to left field. But the Mariners could not get to Zito in the top half of the 8th. Two and 2 the count on Long. There's a look at Tejada on at third base. Justice is on at second, and Jermaine Dye at first. Into the gap, deep right center field. Cameron on the run, can't get there. Extra bases. Miguel Tejada will score. Now, a mix-up on the bases. Justice stops at third. They've got Long in a run down between first and second. Olerud to Guillen, and now Long runs right on by John Olerud. Holy smokes, 1 run scores Tejada. The A's lead 4-0. But Terrence Long went way down to second base. The throw came in. Justice stopped at third. Jermaine Dye stopped on his way around second, Hendu.
Yeah, you want to see a base running mistake, and it was David Justice at second base. He's supposed to score on this ball, and you want to see a bad play by the Mariners. John Olerud has a runner stationary. He doesn't run him all the way back to the bag. You should just run him all the way back to the bag. You look at David Justice, he's supposed to score easy. He doesn't take off. Jermaine Dye sees it's going to be a double all the way, and he's all the way to second base. David Justice makes this mistake, and then John Olerud compounds it. He's supposed to run him all the way back to the back. There's no way for him to go. You don't have to throw the ball. Run him all the way back to second base.
So the bases are loaded for John Mabry, and the A's lead 4-0. And the first pitch is low for ball 1.
And the Mariners don't even get an out when the A's make a base running blunder.
Just running back towards second. But Long is able to escape and go back to first. Mabry 0 for 3. And that's the way things have gone for the Mariners in the second half. Down and away. On the outside corner for a strike, and it's 1-1 on Mabry. 260 hitter with the bases loaded in his career. Ground ball foul up the first base line, and the count is 1-2 on Mabry. You have to wonder what Justice was thinking about with the drive in the gap in right center field. There was no chance for Mike Cameron
And David Justice just had a horrible read. Didn't read it at all, and he was 4 or 5 steps off of second base, and Jermaine Dye could see it all the way, and he was 4 or 5 steps to second base, and Jermaine Dye saw that Justice wasn't going to score, so he had to stay at second. And of course, Terrence Long had hit the ball. He's a center fielder. He knows it's in the gap.
Outside, ball 2, 2-2 on John Mabry. Over field down to the third base umpire, Hunter Wendelstadt. 2 walks, 2 singles. A's get a run here in the 8th, only 1 away, and they have the bases loaded. Down and away, ball 3, full count 3-2. And the Mariners could not even record an out when the A's tried to give them one. Ricardo Rincon warming up down on the bullpen.
Well, I think that's the frustration of the Mariners, where you can tip your hat to a pitcher that has a great game, but you don't want to play sloppy baseball.
Fouled away, and the count is still full on John Mabry at 3-2. And you can't afford to play sloppy baseball against this club. Mabry batting .302 since the trade to Oakland, coming over from the Phillies. Fly ball into left field over toward the line. Ruben Sierra is there, tagging David Justice. The catch is made. Here comes Justice. The throw-in is cut off by Carlos Guillen, and the A's lead 5-0 on a sacrifice fly to left field by John Mabry. So 2 runs are in for the A's here in the bottom half of the 8th. 5-0 Oakland, and here comes Lou Piniella out of the dugout, and that's going to be it for Doug Creek. Shigetoshi Hasegawa will take over in relief to face Ramon Hernandez, and the A's have runners at first and second now with 2 outs. So as the change is made, stay with us. We'll be back after this timeout.
Where's the line that separates the way it's always been done and doing something different?
The authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the counts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. New pitcher for the Mariners, right-hander Shigetoshi Hasegawa to face Ramon Hernandez.
Well, Shiggy's job is to keep it where it is. You see 47 games, solid 3 ERA, 232 opponent's average against. Got to get that breaking ball over.
And he does. A strike on Hernandez, 0-1. A's have Jermaine Dye on at second. Terrence Long over at first base with 2 outs. 1-1 the count. Miguel Tejada scored on a single to right center field by Terrence Long. A's made a base running blunder but got out of it. Doug Creek rough time in relief. And then Justice scored on a sacrifice fly by John Mabry. Fouled away by Hernandez, and the count is 1-2 on Ramon.
Yeah, the couple of walks that Doug Creek gave up really put him in trouble. Trying to make those hitters, right-handed hitters, Dye and Tejada put the ball in play, but didn't get it close enough.
Oakland 5 runs on 10 hits. Mariners no runs, just 2 hits. Both those came back-to-back in the 8th inning. Zito had a no-hitter for 7. 2-2.
Well, as I said, Rick, the long wait this inning has taken for the Mariners. Manager Art Howe decided that the shutout for Zito is out the window. You see Ricardo Rincon out there in the bullpen. He's ready. He's just standing. So you don't want a pitcher taking a 20-minute break in between innings. Zito, his pitch count is up there. He's your guy. You don't want to hurt him.
swing and a miss, strike three. Hasagawa fans Hernandez to end the inning, but the A's do a lot of damage. They score twice and leave a couple. We go to the top half of the ninth inning. Our score, the A's 5 and the Mariners nothing, and here comes left-hander Ricardo Rincon. Weekend come and kick off the Seahawks home schedule with some fun and excitement at the Safeco Field Goal pregame party presented by Cloverdale Meats. Join 102.5 KZOK and 94.1 KMPS in the bullpen market for food, drinks, football, music, games, and the chance for the kids to run around the bases before the ball game. Best of all, admission is free. Gates open up at 10 a.m. on Sunday in the bullpen market. Top half of the ninth inning. A's lead by a score of 5-0. And the new pitcher for the A's will be little left-hander Ricardo Rincon.
65 games, 1-4 record, 4.11 ERA. That average again, 239. Not bad. 44 Ks, 11 walks.
Jeff Cirillo leads it off, and he pops one up. Third baseman Eric Chavez is right there, and he's got it. One pitch. One out for the A's here in the ninth. Big story tonight, Barry Zito. 8 scoreless innings, gave up only 2 hits, walked only 1, and he struck out 7, and he had a no-hitter through 7 innings. Mariners did not get a hit until a leadoff single by John Olerud in the 8th, followed by another base hit by Ruben Sierra, and that has been it. Ichiro takes a strike at the knee. He's 0-1.
And manager Art Howe was planning on sending Zito back out there to go for the shutout, but that 8th inning took too long, had him sit down the dugout too long.
1-1 the count. Ichiro came very close to a base hit back in the 4th inning off of Zito when he put a line drive into left field, and Mabry made a great sliding catch. 1-2. Strike 3 call. 2 outs for the Mariners. Here in the top half of the ninth inning, and it's now game time. The Mariners are down to their final out. Rincon strikes out Ichiro looking. And here is shortstop Carlos Guillen.
The second time in the ball game that Ichiro took a fastball on the outside corner, and that's usually a pitch that he peppers foul if it's anywhere close, and he's letting those pitches go by, and the umpire, they call him for strikes. He can handle that pitch and foul it off.
Here's Carlos Guillen with 2 outs and nobody out. Fly ball into left center field, coming in, Terrence Long. He's there and makes the catch, and the ball game is over. The Oakland A's, behind the pitching of Barry Zito, shut out the Mariners tonight. A final score of 5-0. Barry Zito wins for the 21st time. He goes to 21-5, and he had a no-hitter tonight through 7 innings of work. And Barry Zito, the story tonight, Andy.
Well, everybody asks, how do you win 20 games in a row? You have tremendous pitching. This guy was on a roll. His last 6 starts, he's had a 1.18 ERA, and he comes in to the Mariners. The Mariners were looking for somebody to beat on after they got beat on in Texas, but Barry Zito came out of here and he was in rhythm. He had a great curveball, great changeup, and just came that close, 2 hits from no-hitting the Mariners.
Mariners just couldn't get anything going tonight against Barry Zito. Final score, the A's 5 and the Mariners nothing. We'll be back with more from the Network Associates Coliseum right after this timeout.
The way we see it, the third base coach is the most important man on the field. His purpose in life? To keep players protected. He's a human spreadsheet. Nature's perfect risk manager, a guardian angel in stirrup pants. He's a guidance counselor, there to keep people safe. And if a man who protects people for a living isn't worthy of baseball's highest honor, we don't know who is.
Hey, you whippersnappers. Think you're the best team ever?
We're the 1906 Cubs tonight, home plate. Be there.
Is that all you got?
It's okay. Take your time.
Mariners baseball, Soto Mojo.
Nice shot.
What do people think about my new Fox series, Cedric the Entertainer presents? Let's check it out.
You'll laugh your panties off, and when you do, send them to me.
Said to remind me of my homemade gravy, hot, brown, and full of chunky surprises. If you want to go to heaven, you have to watch Cedric the Entertainer and pay me $5.
Cedric the Entertainer presents a new sketch comedy show, Fox Ball.
And welcome back to the Network Associates Coliseum, where tonight the Oakland A's, behind the pitching of Barry Zito, shut out the Mariners by a score of 5-0 and take game one of this three-game series. Tonight's game scoring summary is brought to you by Car Toys. Shopping for car stereos and wireless phones is easy when you go to Car Toys. The best selection and guaranteed low prices every day. Call 1-888-CAR-TOYS. Well, Barry Zito had a no-hitter through 7 innings of play, and here's how he did it, Andrew, in the top of the first inning. Leading off the game, Ichiro with a fastball strike in the outside corner. Barry Zito had the fastball, the great slow curveball working the entire ballgame as Guillen grounds out to Chavez at third for the second out of the inning. Then he gets Brett Boone to fly out to right fielder Jermaine Dye, and it's a 1-2-3 first.
And I think early in the ball game, you could tell that he was in rhythm. He had, look at it, 8 innings pitched. Of course, no runs, only a 2-hitter, 7 strikeouts, 110 pitches. He was going to go out for the ninth, but the Mariners had a long 8th inning, and he sat down in the dugout too long, and Art House decided to, okay, the shutout, not important. We want the W.
Barry Zito has now won his last 6 starts in a row. He goes to 21-5 on the year. A's win tonight 5-0.